great marijuana. That is the purpose of this meeting, ladies and gentlemen.
Marijuana is referred to as Mary Jane, pot, weed, or tea.
That Michoacan, man, Acapulco Gold, man. I even smoke that tight stick.
We're smoking reefer.
The realest thing smoking on the internet. The Podheads Webshow.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's 4:20 on a Saturday in May. You're in the Cypher with the Podheads. I'm your Commander-in-Chief, Frank the Tank, and as always, I'm hanging with my very best buds, JB Perez.
Yeah, what's up? It's JB Perez in the Cypher with the best of both.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And as always, last but not least, Making C Money.
What up, everybody? It's Making C Money coming at you from New Jersey, sitting here with some Tangerine OG. What's up, boys? Thrilled to be in
What up?
once again.
Always a pleasure to be in the Cypher with you gentlemen. Always a pleasure to be doing the show for anybody who's watching. Guys, it's going to be a great one. We're going to talk the Toronto van killing. C Money's got a conspiracy theory for us about Amazon. And, of course, we got to talk Kanye West versus Van from TMZ. So it's going to be a good one. It's going to be entertaining. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. It's the Podheads.
Yeah.
The Podheads Webshow presents Pioneers in Pot.
You're back, everybody, in the Cypher with the Potheads. This is Making C Money, at Making C Money on all social media handles. Before we get started, boys, let's do this as we always do. And while they're lighting up, I want to remind everybody to follow us on all social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything. YouTube, hit the subscribe button. We got a phone number too that we're going to pop up. Call that number, leave us a voice, a text mail, whatever you want to do. Talk shit, call us shit. It don't matter. We just need some traffic, guys. But I'm sitting here at some Tangerine OG. Tastes like some orange juice in my fucking mouth right now. What do you guys got going on over there?
Orange juice. You know what? I got to be quite honest. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of extremely flavorful smoking hash or whatever, all that stuff. It's not. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just not. It feels artificial. It tastes artificial. Like I know it. Oh, okay. I see it tastes like orange, but it's like maybe like a placebo mental thing that it tastes chemically to me. And that's
maybe, yeah. And there's probably some chemical in there. I mean, how do they make it taste like orange? You know.
Right.
Like the Tank, what do you got in the Gandalf pipe over there?
Yeah, he looks like a fucking I don't even know.
Hey, I'm rocking. Hey, I had the pipe on St. Patty's Day, for the theme, but I've also loved this pipe because it's hand carved. I really like it. It draws like a pencil, and I love it. I'm smoking some Durban Poison, by the way, and to be honest with you, it's been a crazy week for me. I haven't been able to get to the plug, so I'm on scraps, but I still haven't missed my New Year's resolution. I still got it, and I'm gonna re-up tomorrow, so count on me. JB,
Woo,
what you got?
just almost missed it, huh? Yeah, man. So I got this. I don't even know what it's called because I got it in Oklahoma. Shh, don't tell anybody I was out there for what?
Fucking peyote or some shit.
Peyote, who knows, man? But it is good. It's good. Went out there to do some work, and I was dry. Had to get some bud, so here I got it. So yeah. By the way, that's what I've been up to in the last week. I've been in Oklahoma working, and I don't know if anybody's been out to Oklahoma. It's flat. It's exactly how you expect it to be. Very flat and a long stretches of straight roads and dirt track.
Nowhere.
Lots of cows. The weather was nice, and I found out that it's been cooler than recent years, so there was no tornadoes the month I was there. So thank you, God, for that. Shout out to him.
Pulling in the air for God.
Yeah, in Oklahoma there was a lot of yeah, there was not much to do. I got to be quite honest with you. That's why I had to go get some of this because what else
Fucking
was I gonna
Oklahoma.
do?
Yeah.
I didn't get to go to the major cities, and maybe that's one thing. So let me not completely downgrade Oklahoma here. I did not travel to the proper places in Oklahoma. From my experience, it wasn't my cup of tea. But that's what I've been up to. What you been up to, see money, and your orange flavored chemicals over there.
Ironically, I was in Florida with Frank the Tank this past weekend.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, because I had to close out my apartment and get all the shit out of there, and I guess officially close the door on Florida's chapter for a little while. Bittersweet. The girl I was messing around with wasn't there. Thank fucking God. Put another one in the air for God that she wasn't there. And because that just would have made it a nightmare. But yeah, man, bittersweet. I mean, me and Frank fucking chilled. That was obviously the best part. Fucking, I haven't been there since before Christmas. And yeah, like I said, it's as I might be landing a new job soon, so hopefully I'll be able to come and visit more frequently. Just as a bullshit leisure trip for a weekend, whatever. And yeah, it was a good time seeing everybody.
Don't you worry, the Potheads will be around. We were gonna fly you out anywhere you need to see money, because that's how big we're gonna be. Don't you worry.
Break that shit off too.
Yeah.
Dream it, do it. Whatever the fuck you gotta do.
And we put up 2 up for God today, so let's make that shit happen, dog.
For sure.
Yeah, but Frank the Tank, what do we got? I hear there's some news. Frank the Tank, what do we got? I hear there's some big news in the occupational world for you, huh?
Oh, it's been a crazy past 2 weeks for me. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. I just got a higher paying position. I could say a promotion. Yeah, appreciate that. So it's always good to make some more money.
Always.
But with that comes all kinds of training and responsibilities and shifting and adjusting things. So it's been a little bit of a crazy week for me. But I don't know if I told you guys, but I'm taking guitar lessons now.
Oh, look at fucking Johnny Hendrix over here.
Johnny Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix.
I don't fucking know. Jimi Hendrix.
Johnny Cash and Jimi Hendrix.
Johnny Hendrix.
So taking guitar lessons, and that's fun. I like to challenge myself. I like to do things that is gonna give me a challenge other than just kind of playing video games and I don't know, watching fucking porn. You know what I mean?
Fortnite takes a lot of skill. God
yeah, my kid loves Fortnite. But been planning my kid's birthday. We talk about the kids a lot. The first thing I said, and I don't know how you guys feel about this. Let me know what you think. I feel like there are certain milestone birthdays that are bigger than the rest, right? You got like for me, it's like 1, 5, 10, like teenager, right?
Okay.
16 for girls, 18 for guys. Then there's like 21, 30, 40, 50, and then
right.
every fucking day. Okay.
A milestone.
Yeah. So
sure.
I don't believe a birthday party is necessary for a kid turning 6. I really don't. I just think it's an insignificant year. As fucked up as that sounds, I don't think any day of my kid's life is insignificant, but I just think the need for a birthday party is just unnecessary. But that being said, I got fucking drawn into doing a birthday party for him. So my plan was to do something low key, right? All right, look, let's fucking go. What do you want to do? I called, I sat him down. What do you want to do, kiddo? He tells me, I want to bounce. Normal answer for a 6-year-old. I'm like, that's awesome. I'm going to take him to one of these bounce house places that's just got all the, fucking trampolines and shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I checked the price because he wants to bounce with his cousins and his friends, his brothers. So I'm like, okay, small little thing. 10 kids, minimal, just close family. 10 kids. These motherfuckers want $300. They want me to drop $300.
For how long?
For 2 hours in the building. Dude, 2 hours in the building and then only 30 minutes of bounce time. So I'm like, what the fuck?
What do you think I came here for?
You know what I'm saying? They give you some video game cards and 2 pizzas. Bro. So me, trying to save fucking money, I'm like, fuck it, I'll just get a bounce house and do a bounce house. Well, you know, it's going to be hot and everybody's going to be drinking, so I decided to get a big ass inflatable water slide. Well, you know, $200 later, I got an inflatable water slide. Presents, cake, decor, party bags, food. I'm already past $300. You know what I mean? But at least I've got a whole day. Matter of fact, I got a
instead
weekend.
of 30 minutes.
Yeah, the guy told me he's gonna drop it off for me. But it was a friend through a friend, Trevor, my homeboy Trev. Congrats to you. He just had a baby, by the way. But he hooked me up with him, and basically I got a bounce house for a whole weekend for $200. So the kids can fucking sleep on the motherfucker if they want. But it's a water slide, so it should be a lot of fun. We're gonna drink.
That's probably more fun than trampolining. All right, cool, man.
Good time. Yeah. Let's get on with this shit. JB, my favorite part of the show. You got news for us?
Oh yeah, thank you, Frank the Tank. It is time for the weekend weed. Yeah, so I've decided it's gonna be a Latino theme song to that. Because it's my segment and that's what I want. So it's time for the Weekend Weed. This is where I, JB Perez, bring you basically the latest news that I found on the interweb relating to 420 that probably pertains to you, or it's probably good to know, be informed how the 420 movement is progressing through government, through laws, things of that nature. And this week, we're going to go ahead and start with the man himself, Trump. He's finally going to go ahead and back the state's individual, rights in regards to marijuana and what they want to do with marijuana, whether they want to legalize it recreationally or just leave it medically. The federal government is not going to get in the way, and that's good. That's the first step in the federal government's getting out of the way of legalizing marijuana across the country. But we are the United States, and he's given the states the responsibility to handle their own marijuana laws.
That's how it should be. I feel, at least.
There are plenty of states that have their own particular laws pertaining to alcohol. There are some dry counties, things of that nature. This is the same thing. It should be handled the same way. So I gotta give him his props for this. Just get out of the way. If you're not gonna help me, get out of my way, right?
I mean, what does that say, though, when you have... So if the president is saying, oh, yeah, no, you guys could do what you want, and then this asshole Sessions is still saying, no, it's fucking as bad as heroin. How do you have two of those creatures alive in the same place? You know what I mean? Like, how does that exist?
I think the idea is, that there's going to be... If Trump says it, Session has to say it. I mean, and Session has been on the record very recently saying, "Oh yes, there are now good things to marijuana." You know what I mean? Oh, there are beneficial things to marijuana. So even his stance is softening.
I call it a victory for the.
I do too.
All right.
So I'll put it one up in the air for everybody in the world who loves marijuana.
And hey, kudos to Trump. As much as I disagree with the kind of person he is, or with his character for that matter. I gotta give it to him on this one. So I'll put one up for Trump for the movement.
All right, for the movement. All right, so let's keep it moving. Let's keep the movement going. One awesome, great story that I found was that very simply here, the facts are. Older people, over the hill people, 40s, 50s, 60s, and plus. Not 40.
40?
Not 40. No, not 40. Listen, I play on my 40s to being, my 40s on being like a fucking 30s. Okay?
Yeah, JB,
I have a lot of plans for my 40s.
JB be killing me. You saying some shit that just be making me laugh so many times.
But I caught myself.
No, it's just funny. It's just funny.
JB is a very old 30-year-old.
Yeah.
So, bringing it back, Frank the Tank. The numbers are there. The facts are very simple. People over 50 years old are smoking more marijuana, point blank. I got some crazy numbers. The study comes out of from way back in the 80s. So this study started in the 80s. These researchers now have 35 years worth of data on this age group, basically from 50 to 60 and then 60 plus. And the numbers are from 0 in 1984 to 12 in 2018. I mean, from 0 to 12, that's 12% increase. And that might not seem a lot to you, but when we're talking millions of people, 12% of millions of people is a large number. So this is news to me because that means even the people who need the opioids are using medical marijuana as a replacement for their medicine. And that's good on all levels.
That is pretty awesome. I mean, I can tell you straight up that I would probably be having to take some kind of nerve or pain medicine if I wasn't smoking. And to be honest with you, I've tried all of them. Trust me, I've tried all of them. And none of them really worked for me without a lot of negative side effects. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm not gonna sit here and fucking say, oh, I smoke bud and my headache's gone, my fucking back pain's gone. No, but it definitely helps. It keeps me off edge when I'm not smoking and I'm in pain. I'm on edge. I'm in a bad fucking mood, and I'm not really a people person. When I'm smoking and I'm in pain, I don't give a fuck. I'm good, you know what I mean? So
I gotta be honest. Personally, when there have times where I've had stomach aches. I gotta be honest. I feel for feeling like a very fit 60-year-old man, feeling that way. You know, my medical records are pretty straight, so I don't have all these these negative sicknesses. But headaches, stomach aches, the natural daily aches and pains. When I smoke it, I legit. It's tolerable. It doesn't necessarily take it away, but without it, it's there, but it's more like, I can't describe it. It's like a pressure rather than a pain, and it's just tolerable.
Yeah.
And and then I let my body do its thing, and then 2, 3, 4, 5 hours later, I don't have the stomach ache anymore. I don't have the headache anymore. So, I mean, that's just from my point of view, and that's just the bottom of the totem pole. There's other great medicinal uses for marijuana. So I'm happy, man. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, it's not a miracle plant or drug or whatever. I mean, we all wish it was, obviously. You have a migraine, the first puff, and the migraine's gone. I mean, obviously, we all wish that was the case. But yeah, man, I mean, I've been smoking since high school. And maybe back then at 14, it was just to get fucked up because you're 14. Yeah. McDonald's tasted a little better, sex felt a little better at 14. So it was definitely different, but now being an adult, it definitely just helps with stress, helps with depression. You wake up, you're in a really shitty mood. That shit just takes it away. And no matter how bad, and Frank Tanks heard me say this 100 times, no matter how bad a day is, that first hit when you get home,
yeah,
it's gone. It literally takes that grinding feeling in your heart away, and you just kind of. And yeah, you can't put a price on that, man. I've tried depression meds too, and side effects of depression meds are suicidal thoughts.
Crazy, right?
How does that fucking
So anyway, let's move on. The last week in weed news that I got for you comes out of Ohio. Okay, Ohio is now another state that's gonna legalize marijuana, making it like 28 states now have legalized marijuana. So, like I said, the scales have tipped, people. Yeah. Let's get on the boat. But Ohio is going to host the first school of cannabis growing, certified. All the legalities are straight. The school is called the Cleveland School of Cannabis.
Oh, I love
that. Shout out to them.
CSC.
10 years ago.
Yeah, so it's just like it's a for-profit school, just like fucking DeVry, which I went to, my fucking alma mater. Just like any other for-profit school, you go here and they'll teach you the horticulture. I think that's the right word. Horticulture of the cannabis growing, and that's great. You go in there, you become a professional marijuana sewer.
Oh my God, you can become a botanist. Instead of botanist, a botanist?
Basically, instead of a botanist, yeah.
A botanist. 10 years ago, you're sitting in high school, you're sitting there fucking bullshitting, and they come in, they say, you want to be a doctor? No. Lawyer? No. Dentist? No. You want to grow weed?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's it. I was just going to put one up in the air for the CSC.
CSC, baby.
And that's the weekend weed.
All right, look. I love the Week and Week, but guys, we got to take a
Mhm.
So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. It's the Podheads.
You.
Pull up on the bitch, nigga. You ain't flexing, boy. Roll up with the top drop, with the chops going, yelling world star. You niggas got me fucked up. How you preaching to the baby, sipping on that purple stuff? Hip hop is a vessel, and you silly rappers getting by and violent. I come to your session and make you say bye bye. I'm sliding out your jacking beats, pussy riding. You niggas sound asleep.
And you're back in the cypher with the Podheads. It's JB Perez. You're in the cypher with the Podheads. Frank the Tank's over there. See Money's somewhere over here. I don't know where I'm at on the screen. Make sure you're subscribing. Please, please, please. That's how this is all going to work. So make sure you subscribe, like, comment, follow us, call us. Get on the Instagram, on the YouTube, on the Facebook, on the Twitter, all of that at the Podheads Web Show. So this is going to be kind of a crazy segment because we're going to be talking crime a little bit. And I got a kind of a confession that this is kind of like my secret, not agenda. That's not the word I'm looking for. Not a secret agenda, but a secret, it's my binge shit. I love to watch documentaries based on crime and drug running and gangsters and all that shit. I don't know why. I love it. It intrigues me so much. It's maybe because I'll never be in that life. I'm not about that shit. Not even close. I would.
No more
my
gangbanging days?
No, man. Anyways, so it's like just like my closet documentary fetish. I love watching that kind of stuff. And then the news came out on my news feed about the Golden State Killer. Have you guys heard about it? It's been on the news. Recently,
heard about it,
right?
yeah.
The guy's been at large for what, 30 years?
For years, bro,
Yeah.
since the 70s. And the 70s was not 30 years ago, gentlemen. We're talking about 50 years ago.
Damn, wow.
So in the 70s and 80s, he was basically your serial killer in California. And long story short, they finally found his ass through some DNA.
Oh, shit.
So it was crazy, and it's cool that they found the guy. But the real interesting story, when I was reading through this, that grabbed me and why I really wanted to talk about it is the way they found this guy. They found through DNA, okay? DNA that they just recently they acquired it. It turns out that they found his DNA through a genealogy website. I don't know. I don't want to say the name. I don't want to say the names yet.
This is what you warned me about. You mentioned you didn't want to do that because of this shit.
I said that same thing. I said the reason I don't want it, and I know I'm going to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it's like now a company has your DNA. It's theirs now. You gave it to them. They can choose now to do whatever it is that they want, whether it's for profit or not. And it's obvious that they provided this DNA to this cops investigators, and a good thing came out of it. But the precedence that it sets, bro, I was like, we gotta talk about this. I am not cool with that. I gotta be honest with you. I'm happy they found this guy because this guy's an asshole. He killed a lie. He moved from Northern California to Southern California. He was a murderer. He was an old-time cop. They fired his ass because he started pickpocketing or he went to a store and stole some shit. Some petty stuff. But then they got fired. He started working at a supermarket and then he started killing. But again, guys, the precedents that how do you feel about it? Tell me how you feel about that. They got his DNA through one of these websites.
Well, like Frank the Tank said many episodes ago, the further that technology advances, privacy will be a thing of the past.
That's the thing, right? Yeah.
There's no such thing as privacy, and I think we're already there. Actually, reassuring your point that you just made, JB, is they have our fucking DNA, guys. Yeah. Not only do they have our phone numbers, our addresses, our friends' phone numbers, they have our fucking DNA. They could fucking clone us. But I'm curious what Frank the Tank feels too. It's. And you guys have kids too, so now you have another generation to worry about with how technology advances and how far is too far, so on and so forth.
Now look, according to the article I read, the website or the genealogy place unknowingly, somehow, Somehow the police found it through there without them knowing.
No, it's because they figured it out. They're like, as soon as they gave it to him, they're like, you know what? We probably shouldn't have done that. So now they're wishy-washy.
Oh,
But
you know, the cops probably said, "Look, we'll tell them you had nothing to do." Of course.
no, but this was, of course, to get whatever they want.
But I mean, it is a tough subject because I mean we're not giving him the credit he deserves, and I don't mean good credit. But the guy, he raped multiple women.
No, fuck
he
that
murdered
guy.
and raped multiple women. He did a lot, and you know the fact that he was caught. I mean, if not for this, he probably wouldn't have been caught. So it's fucked up.
There's the devil's advocate.
How about this? Anybody who's watching, if you signed up for 23andMe, Ancestry, anything like that, tell us your experience. Leave a comment, holler at us, call us, leave a message. We'll play it on the show. I'm interested in knowing how everybody else feels about that kind of stuff because I'm on the fence. I really would like to know. I don't know anything about my family past my grandparents, and I don't know that much about them. I mean, to be quite honest with you. So I have been very tempted to send in for one of these kits, send my DNA in and find out. But, I mean, just like you said, JB, these kind of things worry me, just putting my shit out there like that.
But I will say, one of my parents did the Ancestry type of thing, and I figured out that I'm 10% Middle Eastern.
Hey, that makes sense.
Fucking Iraqi over here.
Yeah,
Be careful, big brother.
Right?
Yeah.
But so it is interesting in that sense. So obviously, I'm Italian. I got a little Middle Eastern, a little of this, a little of that.
But moving forward, you know, on the same news as these mass killings, it's kind of fucked up, but everybody's heard of it. It's kind of old news. The Toronto van killing, you know. And the reason why I wanted to bring it up because I thought that there was some more shit that we could kind of bring out of that, further talks. If you haven't heard about it, 26, I think, 23, some shit year old, 25-year-old kid, Alec Minassian, some shit like that, Minassian. I'm fucking it up, but whatever. Rented a van, and at the New York City Center, at the North York City Center in Toronto, decided to fucking drive into the middle of a busy intersection. He killed, I believe it was 10 people. Let me make sure. Killed 10 people and injured 16. People know that in countries like Canada, countries like Europe, certain places in Europe, it's very hard to get weapons. It's very hard to get guns. You know what I mean? Right. And so this guy was able to fucking go to his local goddamn Hertz Enterprise, whatever, local rental car place, rent a van, and turn that shit into a killing machine. And was able to almost kill 26, but was able to get 10. You know, it's a terrible tragedy, and I feel bad for anybody who's involved in that kind of thing. But it, to me, brings the bigger question on gun control, right? It raises the issue on gun control because gun control has been a hot button issue for a while now here in the U.S., right? We want to get more like other countries and maybe make it harder for people to own guns or ban the sale of certain guns, you know, semi-automatic weapons, rifles, assault rifles, shit like that altogether. But we hear cases like these all the time, right? Bombs, Oklahoma City bombing. No guns involved. You know what I'm saying? This guy, Toronto van attack. There's plenty of bombings that happen all the time in Europe and in the Middle East. But ultimately, my argument is this, and I touched on this before. I don't think stopping the sale of guns is going to help anything. In my opinion, if a guy is deranged or severely pissed off and wants to kill a bunch of people, he's going to find a way. Whether it's a bomb, if you don't have a bomb, if he can't make fucking bombs, right? He'll get a fucking knife. If he can't get a knife or he's too chicken shit to get that close, he'll get a gun.
He'll get
if he
a
can't
van.
get a fucking gun, he'll get a van. He'll rent a motherfucker. The guy clearly didn't have a car or van. So he said, let me get the biggest thing I can fucking rent for the day, the cheapest. What would it cost him, $30? Hell, he probably wasn't planning on paying it anyway. All he needed to do was cover the fucking basic down payment.
And he killed probably more people than if he had a gun. I mean, you talk about a 10 round clip. Maybe he kills 5, 6, 10 people. He killed 12, injured however many. I'm with you, man. And I consider myself a Democrat, but I ride right down the middle. And it's like, yeah, well, you can't now ban vans, right? You can't ban the tool. You can't ban the tool when everybody uses the tool for, its proper use. It doesn't work that way. But to this story's point, man, what I really wanted, and rest in peace to all those people. And I feel really bad because that could have happened anywhere, bro. Yeah, this guy could have rented it in Springfield, Massachusetts, and run my ass over when I was walking down the street. So it's very relatable to everybody. But I really want to give a shout out to the cops that responded, and it's the Canadian, is the people up there, man. The guy come out, and in America, the guy would have got blown away, and as he probably should have, especially with the movements here. I'll put up a clip up, so I want you to see how this man wanted to suicide by cop. Obvious, the movements he was doing. He's like, shoot me, literally shoot me, and the cops showed restraint, followed procedure, got his ass down, and knew that shooting him was not going to be the answer or the proper. This guy should have been arrested, prosecuted, and fucking hung for all I care. But the point is, right? Yeah, to say that I want him to suffer is damn, that sounds harsh, but in some way you want justice, and justice means some sort of suffering, some sort of confinement, some sort of.
Dirty Harry said it best. Fucking Clint Eastwood a couple years ago said, "We live in a pussified nation now. Everybody's afraid of their own shadow." Fucking Clint Eastwood, motherfucker, and he's right. I mean, they're going as far as banning videos about guns. That's how pussified YouTube. Everybody is now. I mean, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but some of the videos that were banned from YouTube are actually going on Pornhub. I mean,
yeah, so we can watch titties and guns.
Yeah. So actually, since the Vegas shooting, believe it or not, that was a very big trigger that started this whole YouTube banning thing. And yeah, man, so a lot of big timers, big channels that had a lot of followers on YouTube with guns. They would either show how to clean them, how to reload them, how to build some, how to do this and that. I'm kind of against showing people how to make a fucking gun from like scratch. Like, yeah, that's kind of fucked up. But yeah, man, they're actually going to domains like Pornhub because Pornhub says, yeah, fuck it, we'll take whatever you got as long as it's not too fucked up. I mean, how do you guys feel about that? That's how pathetic this shit is, that they're just saying, instead of fixing the videos, we're gonna remove them. No, we're done.
Here's the thing for me. I feel like, or I've always felt like, the internet was kind of the answer to all censorship, right? To basically anybody or any entity, whether it be any evil entity, any controlling force that has tried to block knowledge, right? That has burned books or has tried to censor shit. I feel like the internet is kind of the answer to that, right? And I feel like there are some dangers to it, but I feel like it's important that we kind of keep it that way, right? You know what I mean? So I understand censoring, and I think that certain people, especially age groups, probably shouldn't have access to certain sensitive material. But I also feel like when you start censoring the internet, you start censoring, you start controlling what people are able to watch. Where does it go from there? It's no longer the product that it was meant to be, right? It's like going in and changing history books. You know what I mean? It's not right. In other countries, the news is the news, bro. Somebody gets shot in the middle of the fucking street, they show that shit in the news. They're not talking about motherfucking, some 86-year-old fucking debutante's birthday. You know what I mean? They're telling real news. So I think it's important that we keep the internet like that.
I think it kind of played out as best as it could. I mean, for us, I can relate to the authors of these videos. We're kind of trying to do the same. If we have a following, we want to keep that following, and now our platform's gone. Fuck it, let's go to Pornhub. I have no problem. Come find us here. So I get that, and I get YouTube's stance, man. It's very tough for them to say okay to videos showing how to modify a weapon to do more damage, and that's true. That's what it is, and I get that as well. So I think as good as it could possibly have turned out, that's how it is, and that's all I gotta say. It turned out as good as it possibly could. And take it to break, y'all. Thank you for sticking with us. If you're here, it's the Podheads Web Show at the Podheads Web Show on all social media platforms. We'll be right back.
Back, everybody, in the Cypher with the Podheads, our last and final break. This is C Money at Making C Money on all social media platforms. Everybody, hit the subscribe button if you like what you hear and what you see. Don't be lame. Follow us. Me, C Money, Frank the Tank, and JB Perez. Yeah. This past weekend, as I mentioned earlier in the episode, I was in Florida, closing up my shop, my old apartment and everything, hanging out with Frank the Tank, shooting the shit. And my neighbor beneath me had introduced me to a very intriguing conspiracy theory. Now, a lot of people that smoke weed are into conspiracies. I feel like that just kind of comes with the herb. And JB is into conspiracies too, with Bigfoot and all this other aliens and all
it's
that
not
other
a conspiracy.
shit.
It is goddamn awful truth.
Yeah, so he turned me on to a theory about Jeff Bezos, the Amazon CEO, which we all know now. He got named the richest man in the world. He's beating Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, all of them because of Amazon. The stock is $1,500 a share.
Oh my god!
And some change. I mean, it's fucking insane.
That's crazy.
Not to mention Amazon, Jeff, you fucking motherfucker, raising their prices of Amazon Prime to $119 a year after he just got named richest guy.
So he wants more money.
Yeah, so of course, like fucking they all do, they get greedy. Which I think is fucked up, but neither here nor there. So the conspiracy theory is, and I want your guys' opinion, is that he used to be part of the CIA, Jeff Bezos. So he used to be a big shot in the CIA years and years ago, early in his career. Long story short, the CIA, groomed him to be this entrepreneurial businessman that he is today, and stuck him into Amazon to one day have spies in individual homes, Alexa.
Yeah.
So his theory was that they groomed this man to become who he is today, and their plan was, how can we spy on all the Americans, because they're becoming more known to the fact that we can see them through this and through that, and we're spying on them, this and that. And they said, okay, well, this would be an indirect way to one day create something called Alexa. And think about it, Alexa is in all of our houses. You know they can hear shit through it. You know they fucking can. I don't know if they could see things through Alexa because there's no camera on it that we can see, but you know Uncle Sam hears shit through Alexa. This fucking, at first, I thought the guy was out of his mind because he's one of those guys that will, like, he told me he knows, obviously, Uncle Sam hears and sees us through our phones. Like, he'll wake up every morning and talk into the phone at the people that are
fuck off, assholes.
Yeah, that's exactly what he says. So there I was a little like, all right, this is a little too crazy for me. But then, honestly, though, knowing what we know about what this country has done in terms of scandals and crazy bullshit, I mean, is it really that far-fetched? Not maybe down to the very line of how it all played out, but to create a company that everyone thinks is just this great company that fucking just gives us great prices. No, that fucking company came in, monopolized the industry, gave us great prices because he knew the other companies couldn't keep up. So now that they're under all these Toys R Us, all these companies are filing bankruptcy now. Now watch how Amazon's slowly going to start becoming a creep, and they're going to become scumbagish, as you all know. I like to call some of these billionaire companies.
Listen, see, money. As far as conspiracy theories goes, this is not a very good one. Listen. I forgot where the fuck I was going. Oh, I'll give you a little credit. Maybe because him and Trump are kind of going at it right now, if you've been following. And Trump seems to not get along with any politicians and any government people. So maybe, but no. As far as conspiracy theories goes, this is probably not likely. Yeah, this guy is the richest dude in the planet. And to want to keep putting more money in his pocket, Yeah, I don't like people like that. I mean, you can't. I know for a fact that they didn't pay any federal tax money last year. Like, there's a federal tax that some companies pay. They didn't pay any. The richest guy in the world and his company, one of the richest companies in the world, paid no federal United States tax money. I mean, you can't explain that to me. You can't. You cannot say anything to me, and that makes it okay.
Exactly. There's a. Do you believe in conspiracy theories that could be prolonging? Like maybe the government had something planned 20 years ago that is finally taking effect today, because I knew it was going to take. I'm not even speaking specifically about this, but do you think that conspiracy theories are just something that happened overnight, or is there something that some guy dreamed about 30 years ago and it said, yeah, this is going to take decades? I feel like exactly. In this day and age, Donald Trump is the president. Crazy shit happens, and nothing would surprise me to this day.
Yeah. While we're on the subject of crazy, C-Money, we got to bring up the boy Kanye West.
Mr. Crazy.
Yeah, Mr. fucking crazy these days. Mr. Controversy at least. From dyeing his hair blonde to, getting cozy with Donald Trump to now, the biggest news going on is him appearing on TMZ and kind of having a meltdown on TMZ Live. He had an interview and, well, everybody fucking knows about it now. He went on to say something, that pissed off a lot of people, saying that, over 400 years of slavery, I'm paraphrasing, but slavery sounds like a choice to him. One of the reporters named Van in the back got up and basically tore him to shreds, talking about how, you talk without consequence and, normal fucking black folk have to deal with, the still lingering consequences of the fucking 400 years of slavery and whatnot. Meanwhile, you don't know nothing about that because you're privileged, you're rich, and you don't think that what you say is of any consequence. Well, anyway, the video kind of turned off after that. The last thing you heard was Kanye kind of apologizing, but the guy, I mean, he is. Look, a lot of people think that this is just him trying to sell records. What do you guys think? Do you think this motherfucker's off his rocker?
Yes. Today, Kanye West is thinking a little crazy. But I gotta play devil advocate in this situation. One, because I am a Kanye fan, but we're all a little crazy. And when I heard this, I said, "Oh, this motherfucker! What is he talking about?"
Yeah.
Right. So I delve a little deeper, and he ended up tweeting something a few hours later, or posting something, basically saying, "I know they were chained up and couldn't just run away from the shackles." What he was trying to say was that they had the numbers, and that if they would get together, they could have overrun a plantation, or they had the numbers, is what he was trying to say.
It's just like saying if you're a grown man and with 2 good arms, 2 good feet, and you broke and you're not successful, it's a choice. You're not working hard enough.
Is what he was trying to say. You could have done
something to change that. I get that. The way his execution,
his delivery was terrible.
Yeah,
you're a
fucking idiot. Yeah.
You're a fucking idiot. But you know what, Kanye West is. In my opinion, Kanye West is thinking too much. He wants to be a philosopher now and write books and stuff like that. Bro, you were the best when you were just rapping and just talking real. Talk about life. Just go back to rapping, bro. Go back to making music. Because wasn't that an outlet for you? Why you got to try to be political? Why you got to try to, get on TMZ? What are you doing on TMZ for? Yeah, no offense. This guy, TMZ...
he's a fucking
murdered him with words, by the way. So shout out to that guy, because he murdered him with words. Kanye West, you idiot. But for real, Kanye, man, what's going on with you, man? Ever since you got married, and and I'm not a huge fan of the Kardashians, and I don't necessarily have a problem with any of them. But ever since you got with the Kardashians, you just haven't been right, man.
I do. I blame them. I blame that family entirely for everything that man is doing. I can't imagine being married to that fucking chick, number one. That would drive me crazy. And, I mean, could you imagine being part of that family with this whole Bruce Caitlyn shit going on, too? I mean, that guy. I feel bad for Kanye.
Bruce Jenner, Lamar Odom, motherfucking Kanye West. They ruined fucking Reggie Bush's career. He ain't never went there.
Yeah, and this guy just cheated on this broad.
And Tristan Thompson, bro.
Every male that gets touched by that family is gone.
Stay away from Kardashian pussy. That shit fuck you up, ruin your career, man. Either
I
ruin
don't
your
even
career or
do
make
it.
you
I
pay.
see better looking girls at my shop, right? I'll never understand what it
They're
is with
famous
those
for being
chicks.
famous, bro.
Yeah,
Just
and I
for
don't
being.
see anything particular. They can come out and say that I'm not hot shit either. I could fucking care less. Guess what, sweetheart? I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. Um, so
But
I think it's a little both. I think maybe Kanye feels that he's maybe fallen off the shelf a little bit. If it's not that, then maybe he feels like, oh, I'm just a fucking rapper, and all I do, I'm like this fucking, I'm a doll. Like, someone's pulling the strings, and I'm just this showboat
he,
thing. He wants to be important, so he says,
yeah,
if
he
I
could
talk about
have.
real, if I could do a Kaepernick fucking speak some wisdom like Colin does, maybe I'll be more appreciated, more respected. But no, you fucked it up, you idiot. And like JB said, when some of these celebrities, they feel like they speak with no consequence. I mean, I would love to sit down in a room with Kanye West just to see how far out of touch with reality he really is. I have a feeling some of these celebrities, you'd be sitting there shaking your head like, dude, where the fuck do you think you are? Like, you're on Earth, bro. Like,
I mean, some of these people are really out of touch, and it's hard not to be. I mean, I don't think it's easy for me to say that would never happen.
yeah, dude.
But
I mean,
when you go from a young age and you're already confident and boisterous, and then everybody around you starts kissing your ass and telling you you're fucking right, you're right,
yes, man.
yeah, you know what I mean? It's hard because there's nothing to kind of gauge yourself. There's nothing to kind of hold you back from making an ass out of yourself, which is why we end up with the Justin Biebers and the fucking Miley Cyruses of the world. You know what I mean? Kanye West is essentially that. I mean, he's like he's constantly putting his foot in his mouth, constantly getting himself in trouble, and his big brother, Jay-Z. I mean, got to the point where motherfuckers had to distance themselves from him. You know what I'm saying? He's a polarizing figure. I don't know if that's by design or if he's really fucking out of touch. I will say with you, JB, I agree. I miss the days, and it maybe it's social media. Had he dropped the college dropout and graduation day today, to where those songs and those messages, those lyrics could get across to many more people and not just fucking teenagers nowadays who think it's dope to go back and listen to fucking rapper shit. Maybe he would have been able to kind of get the messages out that he thinks that he's trying to get out now. But he was telling the story, man. He was giving a good message. He was speaking about, he was considered a conscious rapper, right? Like, up there with Mos Def, Talib Kweli, Common. But, he's definitely alienated himself from all of them.
He's just thinking too much. Stop thinking too much and be yourself, Kanye. Get out of your own head. You're your own worst enemy, man. Just do you, be you, and write music, man.
And that's the advice from 3 poor fucking ethnic folks to Kanye.
The pothead.
You should follow our example. But anyway, guys, look, that sounds like a show to me.
Sure does.
It was fun. It's always a pleasure hanging out in the cypher with my buds, JB Perez, C Money. I'm your commander-in-chief, heavy on the chief, Frank the Tank, at Podhead Frank on all social media sites. Look for us at Official Podheads or the Podheads Web Show on Twitter, Instagram. We're on YouTube. Subscribe, like, all that good shit. Holler at us. We'll holler back. JB.
Yeah, Podheads JB on all social media platforms. So please follow me, comment to me, DM me, call us. We got a number now. All right, get on YouTube and please subscribe. All right, let's not forget the time is coming real quick. We're gonna be in CannaFest coming October. If you've noticed, the name has changed. The community or the organizers had to do a name change for whatever reason, and now it's called CannaFest. Everything else stays exactly the same. So we'll be there. Make sure you're there. We'll have the information on all our social media. Yeah. That's it.
See money.
fucking JB is like he's reading off a teleprompter.
Yeah,
I get up, man.
I lost my.
Yeah.
That's it. You guys, nothing else for me, guys.
But yeah, you already know the name. Making C Money on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The Podheads Web Show at Podheads Web Show on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and now YouTube, of course. Hit that subscribe button if you like what you hear and what you see. Don't be lame. Show us a following. We love you guys. We appreciate everything you all do. Trust us, we know the grind. We know it's tough out there. It's a wrap, guys. Coming from New Jersey in the cypher. About to go get me some more Tangerine OG because I'm out. Making some money, guys. It's always fun. Always.
Yeah.